Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 290. It is Tuesday and it is gorgeous here in Cincinnati. I have the windows open as I'm sitting here recording today. The wind is blowing and you can hear all the leaves falling off the trees and the sky is blue. It's warm, not warm, but like in the 60s. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. So go outside. This is going to be my message. Go outside today and soak in this amazing planet that we are gifted to be able to live and play in. When I was out on my run this morning, a song played that I haven't heard in a while, and I'm going to read you the lyrics to it, and then I thought we would explore it. It's really short, but extremely powerful, and so my hope is that this becomes perhaps a mantra or a phrase that your mind repeats to you often today and in future days. It's by Sanatam Kaur, and I think it's called Every Heartbeat. The words, the chant, it's so simple. And she uses God in a way that I would use Source, divine, one, universal consciousness. So whatever your word is for that energy that creates everything, everything, the world, the universe, life, everything. Whatever your word is for that, you can substitute it for God if God doesn't resonate. Every heartbeat is God's name to me. Every breath of life is ecstasy. Every heartbeat is God's name to me. Every breath of life is ecstasy. By Sanatam Kaur. I'll put the link into the description if you want to listen to it. You can play it on repeat for a whole day and you won't get tired of the vibration that she is sending out. So why do I bring that forward today? When I was running, I had this realization that for a long time, I think I heard the chant maybe a couple years ago. And when I first heard it, the way I was listening to the words was every heartbeat of every person around me is God's name to me. And so it's important that I am honoring of every single life that's going on everywhere around me. Every breath of life is ecstasy, meaning everyone around who's alive and breathing brings ecstasy into existence. It was very much an external understanding of the song. And what has been happening over the last year, probably, the last few months especially, and this week in particular, is the honoring of my own experience first. And I feel like this is what lots of people are wrestling with right now. How much do I make my own experience the priority over all the other people around me that I'm taking care of, or all the other responsibilities in my life? How do I prioritize my needs and my health and my well-being and my mental stability and my joy, my abundance, my time, all of these things that so many of us wrestle with all the time that we wrestle with. How do we give ourselves permission or allow ourselves to become a higher priority on the list? For parents especially, I think this is such a struggle, because I know as a parent myself, I'm so used to taking care of and making sure my children have everything they need because I adore them, and that's what I want the most for them, is to be happy and to be nourished and to know that there's always support around them. And so there's a lot of giving of energy with such joy to do it. And so it has felt to me like it would be selfish for me to simply focus on my own joy more because I love them so much. Why wouldn't I simply flood them with joy? And so it's a balance. It's a give and take, a new equilibrium perhaps that all of us are exploring, working through in some way. And so when I heard the chant this morning, it was so clear to me. It's like every heartbeat of my own is God's name to me. Every time my heart beats, it's because I feel this source energy in me. I feel my connection to the divine. I know the divine lives and experiences this physical world through me. That every heartbeat is my ability to connect here in the physical to this energy that creates worlds. And it's right inside of me. And then every breath of life, it's ecstasy. The fact that I am alive and breathing is such a gift. My breath, not everyone else's breath, my own breath. And can I allow myself to receive the breath as ecstasy and to release the breath as ecstasy? Can I allow my experience of life to be that joyous? Can I give myself permission to feel that good? Even if the people around me are not feeling as good as I seem to be feeling, can I allow myself to feel that much joy? And so the chant, every heartbeat, is God's name to me. It brings me right back to, would Source want me to suffer? Would Source want me to be less than I am? Would Source want my heart to be filled with pain instead of connection to this universal oneness and energy? No. Like Source would say, be bigger, be everything you came here to be. You're here in this human body for a very limited amount of time. So come on, like be all of it. Do everything that you chose in your blueprint of your soul that you want to do. Do all of it while you're here. Don't wait. Every single heartbeat is God living and moving and breathing through me out into creation. So why hold back? So then it goes back to the breath, right? If we're holding our breath, not sure what we should do, trying to decide, holding our breath, trying to hold in the emotions, the anger, the resentment, the disappointment, whatever it is, because we're not living our fullest purpose. Right? Breathe that out and allow ourselves the bliss of being everything we are designed to be, created to be. I sit here in this chair and I feel like I have this strong, healthy body. I have this heart that could beat for years. I have this breath that can come and go. And how am I going to spend my time? Is it with the purpose of expressing all that I know and feel and radiating this joy out, or is it to be small and to pull in and to hide myself, or to pull back because others around me perhaps aren't feeling that same sense of joy? It can feel limiting to feel so good because we know that not everyone in our world feels the same way. And yeah, what I get in this chant is just honor each breath as ecstasy, each single breath. Allow this breath right now to be ecstasy in this moment because we're alive and because source energy is moving through me. And then the next breath, let that be ecstasy too. It can be this incredible experience to be alive. What I know, what I have experienced in my own journey is, well, let me rephrase that. There's a great song by Tim McGraw that says, live as if you're dying, or live like you're dying. And he has all these examples of different things that people would do. If they were dying, they wouldn't hold back, they wouldn't wait. With the idea of the person's about to die, so do it now, right? Every one of us is going to die. At some point, our breath will end and we will leave physical form and go back to being a soul. Whether we have days, months, years, or half of a lifetime, 40 years perhaps left, 50 years, at some point we're all going to not take another breath. We're going to stop breathing and leave the physical form. Why do we have to wait until we know that we're actually at the end of dying? Like we're weeks away, people. We're months away. So now we should really start having some fun and feeling really good. No, what if we get to do it right now? Right in this moment, just simply because you choose to do so. You choose to allow yourself to honor the heartbeat inside of you as source, beating inside of your physical body. I mean, why waste that amazing gift? And for each breath to bring ecstasy through the physical form, it's why limit ourselves? What I love about this chant so much is that it's just breath. That's all that she's talking about, breath and music and sound. There's no drugs or drinking or delicious meal. Like when someone is being executed, there's the story about they get their last meal, and so you can order whatever you want. And then I end up hearing, I don't know if it's true or not, that there's a dollar limit. You can only have like $20 worth of food, which right now would not buy you a very gourmet last meal. And so I feel that the purity of what Sanatam is expressing, simply the act of breathing with no artificial things to make it any better, like just the act of being alive can be ecstasy. Simply because you're tuning into the heartbeat inside that is source within. I don't know if I translated it in the way that I feel it, but I did my best. It's an incredible song. I invite you to listen to her chant and close your eyes and feel your heartbeat and allow the breath to move in and move out and feel the possibility, even if ecstasy is too far away in your reality right now, feel the possibility of a smile in your in-breath and a sigh of relief or letting go in your out-breath. And then perhaps just a tiny bit more smile. Maybe you just remember my joy, and that brings you just a little extra touch of joy on your in-breath. And then your out-breath could just release a little bit of the heaviness. If you can just play with that while you listen to her chant, it'll start moving you along the path towards that absolute gratitude. The absolute gratitude of being a soul in a human body right now on this planet. I've taken it for granted over and over. I've said many times in my own journey, like, I think I'm done. I think it's time for me to go back to being a soul. This is like way too much work. I think I'm complete. And yet in this moment, knowing at some point, one day in the future, I will die and go back to being a soul and leave the human body. In this moment, each breath is just a blessing. Each heartbeat inside of me, I know, is source, moving and guiding my path. And that's ecstasy. That's bliss. So take a few minutes and listen to the chant. Allow yourself the support of music and the vibration that Sanatam holds in that chant, and see if it brings a little bit of ease into your day. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me in aligning with the optimal health of your mind, body, spirit in the virtual community of Viv's Energy Gym. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.